this wire. And boom! Hello, paradise. Sorry. I never knew anyone yet that could get this stuff off. But I'm not taking any chances on you spoiling the party.
Sorry of trouble. We have a Mr. Barlow here with us at the moment.
Barlow? You mean the building inspector?
Yes. Apparently he was on his way to see you.
Sergeant, Mr. Barlow has been here since lunchtime doing a building inspection.
Is he still on the premises?
I'm not sure.
It really was a wonderful story, Max. I read it 3 times.
Coral? Is Mrs. Powell out there with you? I see. Would you send someone to get her and tell her that I want to see her immediately? And, has Mr. Barlow left? How long ago?
I can't let them lock you up for something I did.
You just listen to me. You are never to mention that to anyone again.
Charming he might have been. Building inspector, he definitely wasn't.
Oh, dear.
The thing is, we don't know what this man, whoever he is, was doing here.
You think it's a possibility Colleen caught him red-handed?
I think it's highly probable. Colleen disappearing with him on the premises is just too much of a coincidence.
Anything happening out there, Maxie?
Sweet F.A. All the gates are locked up and I hollowed me guts out and there was not a soul around.
Well then, I guess we just sit and wait.
Thank you all for coming so quickly, ladies. I'm afraid a bomb has been planted in the prison. Mrs. Powell thinks that it may be booby-trapped, so watch out for tripwires because these could trigger it off. Now, the police have advised us to evacuate the building immediately, keeping to the center of the corridors and the doorways to minimize danger. If you see anything suspicious, please report it immediately. We'll take it as per fire drill as soon as we're outside the building. Any questions?
Are we going to tell the women why they're being moved out?
I'll speak to them as soon as we're sure that everyone's out. Otherwise, we could have a full-scale panic. Is that all? Right. Let's move them out. Colleen, are you sure you feel all right? I could phone Miss Ferguson's home again.
I'm just a bit shaken up, that's all.
Thanks.
Oh, what is this anyway? A bloody Sunday school picnic?
Oh, do you think so? Oh, isn't that lovely? I didn't think they do things like that in here.
Oh, Pixie, it isn't even bloody Sunday. Maxie was just being sadistic.
What do you think you're doing? Get off that little nonce. Okay, everybody out of here and keep to the center of the corridor. Come on, Daniels, move it.
Yeah.
Come on! If you see anything unusual at all, let me know immediately.
The way the screws are going on, anybody thinks someone will lift us a bomb.
A bomb? Hey, did you say a bomb? I'm getting out of here.
Stop that stupid talk. Now you'll walk out of here in pairs and you'll do it now.
But
all right?
Mrs. Powell...
Just get out, quickly.
Hey! Hey, what's going on? Hey!
Oh, come on, ladies, please. I want you all to stand still.
Guys, anyone seen Sharon?
Mrs. Pell, I can't find Sharon. What if she's inside and that bomb goes off? Nobody said anything about a bomb, all right?
Hey! I've seen her. She's sitting... Well, I don't know exactly where she is, but I've seen her. Hey, Mrs. Powell, I can't find me. God, has anyone here seen me?
Please. No one can find Smith.
She's in solitary. I haven't had time to clear it yet.
That
Bea was in solitary. She's still there.
She's all right, Lizzie. I'm going to get her now.
But the bomb!
Is in the boiler room. Bea's a long way from that. She's in no danger.
You're not going to leave her there, are you, Mrs.
Of course not, Lizzie. Now get back to your group.
Oh, God.
Go on. You're not going back in there, are you?
That area is my responsibility.
Good on you, Mrs. M. Take the back stairs. It's quicker.
Oh, God, I hope she gets there in time.
Oh, there's Mrs. M. Mrs. M! Mrs. M! Together! Together!
It's all right. Everything's under control.
But
I
Mrs.
want
Power,
you
what
to calm
about me?
down. Just go back and join the others.
But
Do it! Hey! Hey, when is somebody going to come and tell me what's going on?
If you go through the kitchen, you'll find it quicker.
As soon as
Excuse me,
there's
Mrs.
anything
Reynolds.
of that barley,
There's
you
another
let me
bomb
know.
attached to the gate next to
Please check, I'll be
solitary.
back.
Smith, can't get to her.
Is anybody here? Oh, damn it! Oh, Francis! Come on. What's the matter, I've twisted my ankle coming up this step. It'll teach me to look where I'm going, won't it?
Does it hurt?
Oh, no, that's why I'm bleeding from the ears and frothing at the mouth.
Does hurt.
Of course it hurts.
Well, yeah, I know. I twisted my ankle once. I was trying to move some furniture, see? And suddenly the heel snapped right off my shoe. Lovely shoes they were too. You know, they had a big heel and they had a little strap just
They
across
sound
the-
lovely shoes. Would you mind getting me some ice for this ankle?
Sure. Do you want me to get that, Jude?
Oh, my God.
I'm coming.
Is this the halfway house?
Jude.
Hello. I'm sorry, I didn't know where else. Hey, come on in. Come on, honey. It's all right. We'll look after you. Put the kettle on, Francis. Now, you just sit down. We'll make you a nice cup of tea and you tell us all about it, okay?
I don't know why they can't get me out of there. She's gonna be blown up, I know it.
If she was in any real danger, they would have brought her out. No, they probably brought these guys in just to be sure.
Yeah, look. She looks so worried. And Mrs. M, she looks really scared.
Colleen, I'd like you and Meg to organise the women. The department wants them moved to Woodridge till this is all over. Mr. Richards is sending 3 vans.
Richard? Is he taking over from Douglas?
Yes, with a vengeance. Excuse me, Sergeant Devlin.
We've defused the bomb in the boiler room. The one in the solitary area is a little more tricky. Who's looking at it now?
How long have you got?
20 minutes. Excuse me, I've got to get going.
John! We just heard there's another one in the laundry, behind the dryers.
Right.
How did you find that
They
out?
caught our man. Name of Lambert, works for Lionel Fellows. Gave the full story as soon as they took him in. Seems the laundry is the last of them.
Let's hope so.
Let's. Of course, there'll be a full check done on the rest of the buildings.
Fellows.
Seems Lionel's not too pleased at all. Somebody must have really upset him.
Thanks, Francis. Here you are. You drink that now. You'll feel 100% better.
Thank you.
Is it still hurting?
Yeah.
What happened?
Kevin, my husband.
I see.
Well, he gets a few under his belt and comes home and takes it all out on me.
Orphan?
It's not the first time.
Honey, have you been to see anybody about this?
Yeah. Last time I went to the cops, I was with my eye black and my teeth all loose. A domestic, they called it. I didn't give a stuff.
Well, you got to look at their side too, you know. I mean, half the time if they press charges and the other person changes their mind before it gets to court.
Guess you're right. I mean, well, Kevin's real good to me most of the time. It's just a drink. I still love him, though.
Hey, who's that? Is that you, Mrs. Morris?
Smith.
Who the hell's that?
Don't worry, we'll have you out of there in no time flat.
Well, I'm not very far away, Billy boy. Just come and get me.
Well, there's a little problem at the gate here. Don't worry. Shouldn't take too long.
Yeah? What sort of little problem? Come on, you can tell me, I'm a big girl. What's all the fuss about? Hey, you haven't gone and left me, have you? Will you get me out of here? Get me out of here!
Be please. It's okay, we'll get you out of there. It's just a matter of time, that's all.
Okay. Hey, Bill. How about you just cut the crap and tell me what's going on out there?
Okay. There's a device rigged up here that can make a mess of everything if we're not careful. But don't worry. Everything's under control.
I'm telling you, Liz.
All right, attention everybody. As you all probably now realized, a bomb has been discovered in the prison. So, for your own safety, you will all be spending the night at Woodridge.
See? Told you. Shut up.
Everything inside is under control, but because the buildings have to be searched thoroughly, we think it'd be a lot more comfortable for all of you to be transferred immediately.
Scared that someone will try and nick off more like it.
Shut up, Maxie. Hey, Mrs. Reynolds, what about Bea? Is she coming with us?
I know you've all been worried about Bea, but she's quite safe. Now, it'll be a lot easier for all of us if you sit quietly in your room and wait for Mr. to arrive.
Hey, did you hear that, Bill? No, you're not going to make me miss out and spend the night with all those fellas, are you?
Don't worry. If you miss the bus, we'll take you out to dinner ourselves. Have you got that?
Well, you better let me out of here so I can have a look at you, see which is the better bargain.
Don't worry. Won't be long. Bea, I want you to take your bed and bedding out of the far corner of your room. Like a sort of barricade. Have you got that?
For a minute there, I thought you were going to make me an offer.
Just hurry up and get behind that bed. I won't take you to dinner if you keep arguing with me the whole night.
Yeah, all right.
Take a break, old man. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Steady.
You made a hell of a mess putting this one together.
It certainly has. 5 more minutes. I just hope we can work it out in time, that's all.
Okay, Barbara, take it easy now. We're all going to have to squeeze in a bit, so you just... That's it. Now, if you go right over in the corner. Right, Baldwin. Hello, Joey. My goodness, he's grown, hasn't he? Right,
Over you go. Now just
I'm
take
not
it
going,
quietly, calmly.
What do you mean you're not going? You heard what Mrs. Reynolds said. We've all got to go.
God, you got a mouth on you. Now listen, I've got it all worked out. I get into the other van and hide. I can sneak out before we get to Woodridge and no one will know I'm gone. How's that?
Bloody brilliant. Bee's in there with a bow on her lap and you're thinking of escaping.
Who's thinking of escaping?
God, Lizzie, use a microphone next time. You won't even strain your voice then.
You thinking of getting out of here, Maxie?
Yeah, why not? Chances are you've got to take it.
You bloody little fool. All you got to do is keep your nose clean for a while and you'll be out of here before you know it.
If this works, I'll be out of here before they know it.
Yeah? And how are you going to get out of the van when they've locked it?
I'll jam the lock. She's forgotten what it's like to be out and able to do what you want. Well, you understand, don't you, Helen, why I gotta go?
No, love, not really. But if you really want to give it a go, I'll get some of the girls to give you a hand.
Oh, thanks, Helen. You're a real pal.
Yeah, so's Lizzie. She just doesn't want to see you making a mess of your life all over again. Now, you've really thought about what you're going to do.
Yeah, I'm going.
Judy, is it all right if I give Kev a ring? He might be worried.
I don't believe this. You have just been sitting there telling me how your husband used you for a punching bag, and now you want to ring him up and tell him not to worry.
But it's not his fault, Judy.
Oh, really? Well, whose fault is it?
He's just so unhappy. He's been on the dole so long, it's driving him crazy. Me having to take cleaning jobs doesn't make it any easier.
Oh, the poor lamb. Well, that must be the best excuse I've ever heard for coming home and beating your wife.
But you don't understand, Judy. Look, I know he really loves me.
Well, he's got a funny way of showing it, if you ask me. Look, Cheryl, you've got to realize that if you go home, he's going to continue to beat you. You got a lot of thinking to do, honey. Huh? Okay.
Right now, Pixie, you know what you got to do.
Sure I do.
Oh, Lizzie, I'm going to miss you. Are you not still mad at me, are you?
No, you're old and ugly enough to look after yourself.
I won't forget you.
You better bloody
You
not.
right, Pixie? Yeah, of course I am.
Come on, hurry up. Stop it. That's enough.
Oh, Mrs. M, this isn't closed properly. We don't want anyone falling out now, do we?
No, Lizzie.
Looks like that dinner date is going to be a certainty.
I wouldn't bet on it. We're nearly through.
He's working like a demon, B. Scared his wife will get jealous if he takes you out.
Don't believe a word he's telling you. He just wants you all to himself.
Better the devil in you know than the devil in you don't.
You must be a pair of mad buggers taking on this line of work.
One of the necessary qualifications, my dear. Touch of insanity. John, we've got one hell of a problem here. Do you know that bastard's double-wired this thing? Another live wire. They're all giving positive readings.
What do we do?
Oh, you two got a bit quiet. What's happening? Haven't snuck off trying to get out of my dinner date, have you?
Hang on a minute, B. It's time for an educated guess at it, son. Hang on, all right, here we go.
with him.
Major Hunt's dead. Sergeant Devlin's alive, just.
And Smith?
I don't know.
Okay, ladies, come on, out you get.
G'day, Mrs. M.
How do you feel, Smith?
A bit sore. It takes more than a little bomb to stop me, though.
Good.
Oh, those are the blokes, Major Hunt and...
John Devlin.
Yeah, how are they?
I'm afraid Bill Hunt is dead, and it seems Sergeant Devlin might lose an arm.
Oh, God.
Get some rest, B. Be back in a second.
How is she?
Cuts, bruises, some shock. Nothing too serious. I think she'll be able to return to her cell in the morning.
Thanks, Scott.
Mrs. Reynolds, they've defused the last bomb, but I'm afraid I'll have to ask you a few questions.
No.
The sooner the better.
All right, Inspector. Perhaps we can go through to my office.
Mrs. Reynolds, Arthur Richards would like to see you in your office.
All right. Oh, would you arrange for the women to be brought back from Woodridge tomorrow morning, please, Mrs. Powell? And tell Mr. Richards he'll have to wait.
Okay.
Right, Inspector. Mr. Richards, I'm sorry.
I did
have
ask
kept
to
you
see you
waiting.
immediately, Mrs. Reynolds. Please sit down. I have several questions I'd like to ask you. I have a preliminary report on the damage. It's quite extensive, but not as bad as it might have been, thanks to the efforts of the bomb disposal people.
Some of the credit for that should go to my officers.
Yes, I'm coming to them. But first, I'd like to know how this Landon person gained admittance to Wentworth.
His identification was checked and found to be in order.
And you checked his identification personally?
No, Mrs. Morris checked it.
Ah, Mrs. Morris. Now, B. Smith was left in solitary when the prison was evacuated. Whose responsibility was it to check that area?
Mrs. Morris. But I am in charge of Wentworth, therefore the responsibility must be mine.
I couldn't agree more. Due to your laxity, you have cost the department a great deal of money, not to mention the inconvenience to both the department and myself.
So far, I've heard nothing but condemnation of myself and my officers. This may be justified.
Maybe.
But a man is dead, and all you can talk about is money and recrimination.
He was doing his job, Mrs. Reynolds. Perhaps if the same thing could be said about your staff, Major Hunt may still be alive. You haven't made a very auspicious start, have you, Mrs. Reynolds? Now, this B. Smith, I'd like to see her immediately.
I don't know whether that's possible. She's still suffering from shock.
Well, when can I see her?
I'll have to ask Dr. Collins.
I'd be obliged. Then, perhaps, we can discuss the new security arrangements at Wentworth.
Oh, thanks, Colleen. Yeah, I'm glad the women are all right. Oh, well, the media has a habit of making things sound worse than they really are. Look, could I have a word with Anne, please? Arthur Richards. Oh, okay. Oh, no, it's all right. No, I'll talk to her tomorrow. Yep. Thanks a lot.
Well?
Unfortunately, one of the bomb disposal blokes is dead.
Oh.
Another one's seriously injured. But the women are okay.
Well, thank God for that at least, eh?
Yes, it seems Anne's now with a new department head. He's not very pleased.
Well, that's hardly surprising, is it? I think they take a dim view of people planting bombs everywhere.
Yeah, what staggers me is, how on earth did he do it?
I don't know.
Now, Mrs. Smith, if you'll just sign this.
What is it?
Just a hospital formality. There's no need to read it. As I said, it's merely a formality.
Just a formality. You bastard.
Now, Mrs. Smith, it's merely a waiver exonerating the department from responsibilities for your injuries. Minor as they are.
Well, they might be minor to you, but to me they're pretty important.
Now, Smith...
It never occurred to me that I could sue the department. But now you mention it, it could be pretty expensive.
You wouldn't dare.
Try me. I've got nothing to lose.
Judy? What is it, Cheryl? Kevin's here. He's outside. Well, how did he find out where you were? Well, I rang him. I had to tell him where I was so he wouldn't worry about me. Now, you go upstairs. Just go up. The rest of you too, please. Everybody out of the room. For heaven's sakes.
I think I better open the door while we've still got one, huh?
You be careful, Ollie.
Now, where do you think you're going?
Come for me, wife.
No, you're not coming in here, man.
You shouldn't have come here, Kevin. You get out of here. We're going to call the cops.
Now, Kevin, come on, relax.
So it! Now, I think you'd better go.
It's got nothing to do with you. It's between Cheryl and me.
That might have been so before she walked out on you and came to us for help. Now, you leave now or we're going to call the cops.
Cheryl? I love her. Don't you understand? She's my wife and I love her. I love her.
Of course you do, mate. We'll talk about it in the morning when you're sober.
I love her.
Sure. Come, I'll take you home.
Don't try me so!
Straight into a lamppost. I'm going home anyway. You come with me.
I love her.
Hi. I thought you might like some company.
That's very kind of you. Come in.
Paul at work?
Yes.
Hey, you look like you need a drink.
No, it's all right. I think.
Well, want to talk about it?
There isn't much to talk about. I fouled it up. I feel responsible for Bill Hunt's death.
Oh, that's crazy, and you know it.
Is it? We all went by the book. All possible security measures were taken and still someone got through.
So it wasn't your fault?
Why? Because I went by the book?
In this case, yes.
The book doesn't teach you how to sleep at night.
What happens now?
The department is almost certain to ask for my resignation.
Oh, they can't.
Oh, can't they?
Well, look at Lady Muck.
The life of the idle rich.
How are you, honey?
Oh, all right. So I woke up this morning with what felt like the world's biggest hangover.
All of the pain, none of the pleasure, right?
Yeah. What have you done to yourself?
Oh, twisted me bloody ankle. Listen, love, I came to talk to you about Petra Roberts.
Didn't know you knew her.
Well, I don't. We just have a mutual friend.
Oh, yeah, Scott Collins.
Oh, how'd you know?
The walls have ears.
I keep forgetting. Anyway, he's very concerned. She doesn't want to have anything to do with him.
Oh, give me half a chance. Did she say why?
That's just it. She won't say. All she says is he's to forget her and find somebody else. He'd like to know why.
She could be right, though, you know. She'd have been here for some time.
Hello, Lizzie.
How are you, love? God, we were worried about you. How you feeling now?
Not too bad, thanks.
Oh, we missed you. What are you doing here, Jude?
I've come to see how she is.
Hey, you know, Lizzie's probably the one to help you.
Yeah?
Jude, what's found out about Petra Roberts?
Oh, poor little love. I reckon she did the right thing, getting rid of that rotten bastard.
Lizzie, what are you talking about?
She was being raped by her own father.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Anyway, she couldn't do anything about it because of her mother. But after he started on her little sister, well, that was just too much for her, so she did the rotten bastard in. Good on her, that's what I say.
Well, that explains a few things.
Except why she won't defend herself in court. She had a pretty good case.
Yes, but you see...
What are you doing here?
Oh, I just came to check up on B, Mrs. M.
All right, now back to work.
Oh, but
Go on, back to work, Lizzie.
See you later, love.
Yeah, okay.
See you, Jude.
B, if you're feeling up to it later on, Mrs. Reynolds would like to see
Okay,
you.
Mrs. M. Mrs. M. Any news of Sergeant Devlin?
Yes. I'm sorry, he's lost his arm.
Come on, stern on the white line. Your name is Lucy Walker, is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
You are charged with the trafficking of cocaine, is that correct?
Beats me.
Just answer me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mrs. Powell.
Wait there.
Stay on that line.
Yeah.
Right. Auntie.
Possible.
I'm sorry to have to tell you, the department has declined the teaching program.
What? But why?
They don't want prisoners undertaking work in an official capacity.
Oh, I don't give a damn what the bloody department says. They're going to take that course whether they like it or not.
How?
Of course, the classes couldn't be official, but if you were to teach them during your own time...
What do you mean, a recreation time?
As long as the other women don't object.
I think they'd come round.
Great. But I'll need some equipment. Not much, but some.
Such as?
Well, a blackboard is essential.
Well, I'd like to donate some things myself as a personal contribution to the classes. Perhaps I could organise your blackboard.
Terrific.
And I'm sure I could find some chalk and a few books.
Thank you.
Right. I think that's all. Good luck.
Thanks, Mrs. Reynolds. Oh, by the way, I'd like to go back to work.
You feel up to it?
Raring to go. But if Arthur Richards asks, I'm in agony.
You stupid little bitch.
Hello, Auntie Joan.
You keep your trap shut. I am not related to you in here. Now, you remember that.
Not ashamed of me, are you?
Oh, no. I've always wanted a dope pusher for a niece. What the hell do you think your family's going to say? And what about your grandfather?
They never need know as long as you keep quiet. Just like you did when I arrived here. And while we're on the subject of what people will think, I don't think the authorities will be too thrilled to find out we're related.
Are you threatening me?
Too right I am. You've already buggered yourself by not saying anything when I gave a false name. You better be nice to me, Auntie Joan, or you're in trouble. Big trouble.
Well, I can't tell you what to do, love. It's your life. You're the one in charge.
But I'm so confused. I love Kevin, but I can't live with him. I just don't know what to do.
Well, maybe the best thing is for you to get away somewhere by yourself. Try and sort yourself out. You got any relatives you can stay with?
Only my dad. And he didn't want me to marry Kevin in the first place. If I go home, all I'll get for conversation is, "I told you so."
Yeah. Well, sometimes swallowing your pride is a small price to pay for happiness.
Maybe.
Maybe if... What are they?
They're just something the doctor gave me for morning sickness.
I didn't know you were pregnant.
4 months.
4 months? Oh, you poor thing. You're still getting morning sickness.
Yeah. Just unlucky all round, I guess.
Yeah, well, I reckon I'd be in surface now, lying on some beach.
You never would have made it.
I'll never know, will I? I reckon I had a pretty good chance, except for some interfering old busybody.
I did it for your own good.
Thanks very much. Now I'm on a charge. Mrs. Reynolds really ripped strips off me this morning.
Good on her. It's just what you deserve, you cheeky-looking bugger.
Hey, Bee, what did Mrs. Reynolds want? Did they give you a medal or something?
Not exactly. The bloody department's canned the classes.
Rotten buggers.
Yeah, but Mrs. Reynolds says we can still have them as long as they're in our own time.
During recreation hours?
That's right. Any objections?
No, Bee, of course not.
Good.
The governor's giving us a blackboard and a few essentials.
Aren't she a little beauty?
Yeah, well, it depends on your point of view.
That'll be enough out of you.
Oh, what's this? A tea party? Hello, Roberts, the doctor will see you now. The rest of you get back to work.
I don't want to see the doctor, Miss Ferguson.
I think you should.
Mind your business, Smith.
Well, she was just saying a minute ago that her foot was hurting.
Well, Roberts.
No, I don't want to go.
Suit yourself.
Miss Ferguson, if Petra's not going to the doctor, can I take her place?
And what's the matter with you, Smith?
Just a bit shaky after my ordeal. You know how it is, Miss Ferguson.
All right, get a move on.
And that's why she won't defend herself in court.
Well, that'd explain a lot of things.
Like what?
Well, all the time I've known her, she hardly ever mentioned her father. In the end, I had to demand to meet him. Now I know why.
Well, you've got to try and talk her into defending herself at least.
Well, how?
Talk to her solicitor. Tell him the whole story yourself.
And if she denies it?
Well, then at least you've tried.
Hey, look at that. Treating her like it's the first day at school.
Reckon she fancies her?
Well, would you?
Nah, not my type.
Yeah.
What did you tell Scott?
About what?
Be please.
All right, I told him the truth.
But you don't know the truth.
Yes, I do, and I think Scott has the right to know too.
You had no right to interfere.
Look, Petra, I know it's your life and you can do what you want with it, but I think Scott has the right to make up his own mind as well.
Bee's right, you know, love.
Why don't you all mind your own business? It's got nothing to do with any of you. Mind if I sit here?
Yeah, okay.
My name's Lucy Walker.
Oh, g'day, I'm Maxie. Lizzie, B.
G'day. What are you in for?
Got nicked, pushing some dough.
I don't think you want to sit here, really, do you?
I don't know. Looks okay to me.
Well, it doesn't feel okay to me. You see, I don't like pushers.
It's just some grass. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
Grass, eh?
Yeah, just grass.
You better not be lying to me. You seem pretty pally with Officer Ferguson. We call her a freak. I'll give you a word of advice. Keep away from her. Because I hate her almost as much as I hate pushers.
Hello, Joe.
No.
New rosters. I see you're down for an awful lot of double shifts.
Yeah, well, I like to be kept busy.
By the way, that blackboard I ordered has arrived. Would you see it's installed in the rec room before the class this afternoon?
I thought the department was against these classes.
No, I just didn't want to see a prisoner running them officially.
I don't see the difference.
The difference is that Roberts is giving up her own time and money. The classes are unpaid and unofficial.
I wonder what the department would say about something unofficial happening in here.
We're quite happy for the women to use their free time as they wish, as long as it doesn't interfere with security.
That is just my point, Governor. We already have a problem with security. Putting a bunch of women together like that will only cause more.
I'm quite aware of our problems here without being reminded, Miss Ferguson. I think you'll find things a lot tighter here for everyone for a while. I want this education scheme to work, and I expect my officers to see that it does. Just make sure the board goes up, Miss Ferguson.
Cheryl?
Go home, Kevin.
Cheryl, please, we've got to talk.
I haven't got anything to say.
Listen, love. I'm sorry about last night. I had a few too many to drink and started feeling sorry for myself.
Look, Kevin, I've got to get to my cleaning job.
Cheryl, please, I want to try again.
No, Kevin. It's always going to be the same.
You're carrying my baby.
Doesn't it mean anything to you? It's worth another shot, isn't it?
Incest? I have no idea. Why on earth would you want to keep that from me?
She didn't tell anybody. God, she must have been going through hell. When I think of that animal, that bastard deserved to die.
Well, it'll certainly make a difference to her defence. We've definitely got a case for justifiable homicide now.
I just wish it was that simple.
She will testify in court, won't she? I know it'll be unpleasant, but, well, it's our only chance.
She's not worried about herself, but she won't hear of Emma having to go through it too.
Oh, can't do much without Emma's supporting evidence.
I know, but she'd rather deny it all than make her sister suffer anymore.
Well, I can understand that.
God, there's got to be something I can do. I can't just stand by and watch her rot in jail.
Look, maybe she's wrong about her sister. Well, I know she's only 13, but perhaps she could cope with a court appearance.
I'll never be able to convince Petra of that.
Don't try. Go and see Emma. You're a doctor, her friend. Find out what her mental state is, and we'll take it from there.
Well, it could work.
Good. Get back to me as soon as you can. If she's fit to testify, she's Petra's best chance of being acquitted.
Smart. You and your sister are going to court in the morning.
Oh, no. Oh, it'll be okay.
Oh, very touching. Okay, move out. Come on. You're the bell. Move.
Auntie Jane?
And I told you never to call me that.
Must have forgot.
Well, don't forget again.
All right, I'll try. But when I get bored or unhappy, I get terribly forgetful.
Are you trying to blackmail me?
Oh, I wouldn't call it that. More like wanting a few reminders.
Such as?
Some booze and cigarettes.
Forget it.
All right. Auntie Joan. Told you I had a terrible memory.
All right. I'll see what I can get. But that's it.
You're so good to me, Miss Ferguson.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.